Where have you been? Those fools, they are attacking my home. Where are you? Why are you here? You should be out defending your employer. Hurry! I want them dragged out of their machines and placed on their knees. I want to execute them myself.
Well, I guess we're going back to the front, boys. War never changes. Welcome back to another installment of Mecha Madness. Glad you guys could join us. So today was the rematch of the Super Bowl battle. 1,502 points on a 4x7 table. Draconis Combine versus Mercenaries. And the goal was to relive moments of greatness. You've already seen the DCMS lineup. Now we're swinging over by the Mercenaries. Mercenaries broke out 8 SRM carriers. As you can see, I've labeled all the objectives for you. They came with ferrets and sparrowhawks. The table's nicely distributed. We were playing lengthwise. And again, objectives are all covered. Hold on a minute while we hear from our mercenary contract sponsor.
14 minutes. A miracle?
No, this wasn't a 10-minute match, but the intro of this video is now on. Briefing. We have 6 objectives, 2 in each deployment zone, 2 in no man's land, and it's take and hold domination. By the end of game, hold as many objectives.
Clear the calls. Now!
Yeah. Mercenaries at it.
You signed up for this. Deal with it.
And bonus objective was to clear out the SRM carriers. Going into turn 1, Mercenaries ran forward into the city, cutting off corners and access. Ferrets flew down the streets, getting ready for spotting position. Sparrowhawks bombed. Oh yes, we were hit behind friendly lines. Opened up the armor on several mechs, destroyed a Grand Dragon, and then we burned out as many fighters and sparrowhawks as we could. Out of the 6 ferrets, we managed to destroy 4 of the merc ferrets and 3 of the sparrowhawks. Going into turn 2 is when the sparrowhawks went down.
Sir, we are overrun.
Yeah, we get it. You're not overrun, you're just outnumbered severely by SRM carriers. The DCMS scouts advanced up to open up lines of fire and point targets out for friendly forces. The Akuma base command lance was working around the corners. The remaining sparrowhawks kept bombing. This is when the Grand Dragon fell and some of the tanks took some armor damage. As you look into it, my opponent calmly sitting there waiting to pounce. My peregrines took a back shot at the Hunchback, some other mechs, and Spider jumped to the top of the mech bay facility to hold it. Again, points aren't scored to the end of the game. The mercenary forces are casually and cautiously doing what they can, but they were unaware of the peregrine sneak attack. The Hunchback was down to 1 point by the end of the barrage. Turn 3. We managed to crack, destroy, and beat up as many mechs as possible. We got both archers using a peregrine in the mix. We lost the Dragonfire. It was just brutal. And the SRM carriers are not even in range yet. We literally tossed shots across the street. Peregrine tried to dip the Enforcer. That failed miserably. Coming down, I put all my vehicles looking out the street because I was going to drive around the corner and unload. Didn't happen, but it will hurt. Oh, yes. His SRM carriers went unchecked coming up the street. This list, I did not put in artillery because I put in a lot of tanks. Demolishers chose to go around the left flank. Tokugawas and Yantoses went up the right flank to hold the street corner. Warning, there will be explosions. Oh, yes. Just wait and see. Here we go.
This is Echo Actual, being overrun. 300% enemy strength encountered.
Yes, the explosions. Oh, get ready. And yes, that is exactly how turn 4 went.
LZ, Foobar. Diablo Actual. LZ is Foobar.
The mercenary forces were trying to hold the intersection in front of the mech bay facility and the condo towers with the SRM carriers and their heavy lance, and we managed to knock out 60% of the forces gathered at that corner. The Marauders were down, the Archers were down, a couple of other mechs were down. The Black Knight and one of the Ravens walked away unscathed. Sports fans, that is the money shot you pay for. I lost all of the tanks, the Tokugawas and the Antoses, but we managed to clip 6 out of 8 SRM carriers in one go, and man, that was the business. It was work. Peregrines were the MVPs. Kanaki Nado was holding down an objective. The C3 company was doing everything they could. Strider caught 2 SRM carriers to the face. The Sacrificial Dragon caught a lot of fire to the chest, and we did everything that we could. However, the war is not over. Peregrines managed to evade the Rifleman and the Awesome. The other 3 Nixes dinged up the rear armor on the Awesome, coming down for the money shot. 3 Nixes had literally crossed the table to take parting shots. Nixes are nimble little 30-ton mechs, but man, they don't pack enough firepower for my liking. But with some speed comes a lot of sacrifice and firepower. As we get around, the Grand Dragons turned around to block my rear shot attempts. Whoops.
2 ranches down at 30%. Command rank 75%.
Turn 5, the casualties that I took, I lost a good portion of my mechs, but I did manage to clean out a lot of my opponents' tank forces and mech forces. Lost 2 dragons at this point. The Thunder goes down the next turn, but again, this was not a war for the faint of heart. I had lost 2 demolishers, no peregrines. The spiders jumped to the top of the condo building to take free pop shots down into the street. This is what was left of the Ford company of the mercenaries coming down to the intersection, to the mech repair facility. My opponent split up his forces, and I asked him why, and he said that he didn't know what he was getting into, but he had an idea that he could split up my forces. And I said, not the forces you could catch, as the peregrines, the venom, and the spider survived the entire match.
Don't be a whore for me, darling. Be a whore for the money.
The mercenary had checked in with his contract negotiator and figured out that this was a diversionary raid, not an objective raid. Nodachi survived. Bishamon came out. The last 2 SRM carriers were destroyed, finally. As we swing around, that's just a tight, narrow corridor. The Black Knight was hiding out. It remained unscathed for the duration of this firefight. Coming back, the Akuma's still there. The second to last Ontos out of the lance was gone. Naginata ran up to secure the objective. Panther jumped to the top of the highway system so he could be a sniper. There's 2 maulers under there with the Battlemaster. The Battlemaster was hit early on by the strafing and bombing run of the mercenaries. The spiders and the venom took out the Phoenix Hawk that jumped up on top of the repair facility. After they eliminated it, we held 1, 2, 3 objectives. Going down the line, demolishers were trying to punk the rest of the little light mechs down there in the streets. Other Bishamon and the Nixes were coming to take pot shots at the archers. We scraped some armor, couldn't finish anything off, but we did manage to avoid the Grand Dragons. The opponent held it together. Thank you for watching. Stick around, come back, like, comment, and subscribe.